What's up, my peoples? Salutations, Yisrael, Yasharal. Want to give praise, honor, esteem, majesty, splendor, reverence, respect, and exaltation to the only one we should be praising and worshiping, the true and living God, the mighty one of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the creator of everything. Some say his highness is the power. Some say his highness is the source. And some say his highness is the almighty. All right. I agree with all those things, all those terms. But I call him Yahuwah. YHWH. All right. He's my savior. He's my king. He's my deliverer. He's my redeemer. And he shows me mercy. And I know I'm probably not worthy of it. I don't deserve it, but he does it anyway, and I'm so thankful that he shows me mercy. So I'm in debt to him. I'm very grateful that he loves me as much as he does, and I know some of you feel the exact same way. So thanks for stopping by the channel. Hopefully you can leave this video with just a little bit more confidence, a little bit more insight, because I like to share information and I like to help people in their walk with the Most High. All right. The video is entitled Balance, and we're going to get right into it. Let's look at the definition of balance. All right. And I like to use the Collins Dictionary. All right. Balance. I scrolled down to the definitions because when you first click on the Collins, it gives you all these references to what you should be looking for when you're looking for balance. All right, but I want the definition, so you have to scroll a little bit to start reaching the definitions, and there's a bunch of definitions for the word balance, and we're going to be zeroing in on 2 or 3 specific things in these definitions. All right. When we talk about balance in terms of things from the Tanakh, things from a perspective of the Almighty, we're talking about certain characteristics that the Most High is looking for in us. All right, and as we'll find out, false balance or imbalance is an abomination. So. All right, so the first definition, and like I said, there's a bunch of them. I'm not going to read them all. You guys can look these things up, and I encourage you to make sure to get your eyes on the same things that I'm looking at, so you can kind of maybe the Most High will let you see it the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're all different, and we all have different levels of understanding, overstanding, and understanding. We have different levels of the way we perceive things, the way we grasp, the way we absorb. So, but at the same time, those of us who are Yahuwah's children, he will let a lot of us see things in the same way. All right. So some of us are a little bit further than others in this walk. Some of us are a little behind even some of the ones that's been in a long time. I didn't fully break free from believing in a salvific son until 2021. All right. Even though the Most High showed me a lot of things while I was still a super Christian, or what some call a Christian light, you know what I'm saying? While I was still in that mindset, the Father showed me a bunch of stuff, but then he, I guess he, decided to elevate me to the top tier or close to the top tier. There might be something else big out there that we're going to discover. But when I came into the knowledge that the Father was alone, you know what I'm saying, and we shouldn't be equating some salvific son who who died, and I still don't understand how you can say, the ultimate God died. That just don't make sense to me. But anyway, when you're dealing with the Father, he wants us to remain even keel as we deal with him, even in this captivity. All right. He knows we can't keep every aspect of his perfect Torah. All right. But he wants us to balance out the righteousness within our hearts. All right. And he wants us to just live a balanced life, and above all things, remember him in that. All right. And we're gonna get into some of that. All right. So the first definition, 1, balance. An instrument for weighing, especially one that opposes equal weights, as in 2 matched shallow pans hanging from either end of a lever supported exactly in the middle, scales. All right. Number 2, the imaginary scales of fortune or fate, as an emblem of justice or the power to decide. That's one you should keep your mind on right there. One of the definitions of balance. Right there. I'm going to read that again. The imaginary scales of fortune or fate, as an emblem of justice. We know the Father stands for justice and wants us to stand for justice. All right? Or the power to decide. The power to decide between right and wrong. The power to decide between righteousness and unrighteousness. All right? The power to decide between light and darkness. All right? Good and evil. Balance. All right. All right. Number 3, the power or ability to decide. That's one of the definitions of balance. One of the definitions of balance, put this together, is the power or ability to decide. All right. 4, a state of equilibrium or equipoise, equality in amount, weight, value, or importance, as between 2 things or the parts of a thing. That's another one we need to grasp onto. All right, especially when it says equality in amount, weight, value, or importance. All right, we got to balance out what's important. All right, we have to prioritize what's important. All right, and keep an even balance of everything. All right. 5, bodily equilibrium or stability. And the wind is picked up. I'm assuming that some of these winds are the outer band of that big hurricane that just hit landfall last night. And it's a tropical depression now, but it was a Category 4 when it hit landfall. And it's beating Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee up right now. So, let's see. Back to the definitions of balance. 7 has an A and B. The pleasing harmony of various elements in a design, painting, musical composition, etc. Proportion. B, a setting of clauses, phrases, ideas, etc. in parallel constructions for rhetorical effect. All right, that was A and B of 7. 8, a weight, force, effect, etc. that counteracts another or causes equilibrium. Counterpoise. All right, so that one we need to pay attention to as well, because with all the evil in this world, there has to be some good to try to counterbalance that evil. And that good is us. Some of that good is us. All right. I tried to break something down to my oldest son. He's my stepson, but I tried to break something down to him once upon a time to just try to help him and get his mind into clear thinking, And one of the things I told him was this, all right? All the evil that you've done in your past, you better start doing some good to balance it out before the Most High call your time up. Let me say that again. All right, and this time I'm speaking to you. If you watching this video and this is for you, pay attention. All the evil that you've done in your past, all right, and you just now entered into this walk, it's time to start doing some good to make up for that evil. All right. Now, I know it says in Ezekiel 33 that when you ask for forgiveness and you turn from your wickedness and start walking in righteousness, the Most High forgives you of your sins and forgets your sins. All right. But there's also a balance to that. You can't go back to them sins. You got to start doing good from that time forward. And so that acts as a balance, a equilibrium, all right, to keep you in the good in the good graces and in the high baraka, the high blessings of the Most High. All right. All right. Number 9. I'm gonna read 9. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna stop at 10. All right. Number 9. The point along an object's length at which there is equilibrium. All right. And then number 10 has an A and a B. All right. Equality of debits and credits in an account. Let's look at this as an account, our life as an account. We have to balance out these things in our life. There have been times where I had to be a butthole, didn't want to, but I had to be. All right? Because I was so nice to people in the beginning and it didn't work. So I had to be a jerk, you know? I had to treat them despondently. I had to treat them not maliciously, not with evil content or evil discontent, but I had to be mean, firm, and stern with them. All right, and almost overly passionate about it, just to get them to understand not to take my kindness for weakness, and that I mean business. All right. So you balance out your good with the times that you got to be, you might have to be a jerk. There have been a few times where I had to let my wife go off on somebody, because I was nice the first time and I know she got some dog in her. You know what I'm saying? And that's a sports term. All right, but and basically it means she can be mean when she want to, and she can be aggressive when she want to. All right. And as I continue to learn that, she got a little bit more of that in her than I do in me. But I need to get more dog in me. You know what I'm saying? I was telling some brothers a few weeks back that when I was in Christianity, I was soft around the edges. And now that I've left Christianity, I'm hard around the edges. All right. And I'm trying to find that middle, that balance, trying to find that equilibrium. All right. Because a lot of stuff, man, a lot of times I just say, and I cuss still, and I'm trying to stop cussing as much as I started cussing back in 2016 when I found out that, JC was fake. When I found out Adalashah was fake, you know what I'm saying? I started cussing like a sailor like I was when I was young, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to cut back on some of them cuss words or whatever. Even though I do understand we speak English. So some of this stuff, they tell us it's a cuss word. It might not be a cuss word in reality. English is one of the worst languages anyway. It's a bastardized language anyway. Steals from just about everything. But I'm trying to find the middle ground from being a butthole, all right, on certain occasions, and being too easy with people on other occasions. I want that middle ground where I built a good reputation for myself, but I want that balance to be able to go off when I need to. All of us need to have some dog in us, man. All of us need to be stern at times. All of us need to be firm at times and willing to stand on business when it's time to. When it's time to be firm and 10 toes down, and you ain't messing around, all of us need to have some of that in us. And we've been taught to be docile and mild and thoroughly soft. All right, we've been taught to be toilet paper when we need to be taught to be freaking bullets and arrows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I had a buddy that used to say he wouldn't he wouldn't bust a grape with razor blade skates on. Well, that's how I used to be, in my church days. All right. When I was coming up, man, I used to always have to fight people, man. And then when I was a young adult, I got in church and I never wanted to fight. I would turn the other cheek like a mug. You won't catch me turn the other cheek now. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if I feel like you walking on me or stepping on me, I used to just bite my tongue and wait for Jesus to do it or JC to come and save me. Nah, man, I'm gonna tell you what I think, and we just gonna roll like that after that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that that's unrighteous. I don't think that that's disrespectful to the instructions of the Most High. When he's telling us, he's pumping it in us over and over again to stand on justice, to not put up with bull crap when people is getting mistreated or you're getting mistreated. You know what I'm saying? But he's also telling us to make sure we're humble, all right, and we're meek. But you know that there's a balance in that, because he told Israel to go wipe out all the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Jebusites and the Gerasites and all them. All right, but then in the law, it's talking about false weights being an abomination and stuff, and mistreating your brother is a sin, and so there's a balance to this thing, and that's what this video is about, just to help you guys kind of understand what balance is. And then the last part of that the 10th definition, the excess of credits or debit over debits, or of debits over credits. And obviously that one is not what I'm talking about here. All right. So let's get into some of the verses that I just wanted to go through. I'll be using the Safaria Tanakh app again. All right. Let's start in Jeremiah, and I'm going to read verses 5 through 10. Jeremiah 17, verses 5 through 10. All right, here we go. Thus said Yahuwah, cursed is the man who trusts in mortals, who makes mere flesh his strength, and turns his thoughts from Yahuwah. He shall be like a bush in the desert, which does not sense the coming of good. It is set in the scorched places of the wilderness, in a barren land without inhabitant. Verse 7, blessed barak is the man who trusts in Yahuwah, whose trust is Yahuwah alone. All right, so the first thing I want to establish is that the main balance in life is to just trust Yahuwah. All right, don't trust the government, don't trust your family, don't trust your paycheck, all those things at some point in time, some more than others, are going to fail you. All right. But Yahuwah is saying barak is a man who trusts in Yahuwah, whose trust is Yahuwah alone. All right. This also right here lets us know that it's foolishness to try to equate a salvific son to the Most High. We're not supposed to say in the name of JC when we pray. We're supposed to pray directly to the Almighty. All right. Let's see here. Let me read verses 8, 9, and 10 as well. All right. Well, let me go start back at 7 and go all the way to 10. Barak is the man who trusts in Yahuwah, whose trust is Yahuwah alone. He shall be like a tree planted by waters, sending forth its roots by a stream. It does not sense the coming of heat. Its leaves are ever fresh. It has no care in a year of drought. It does not cease to yield fruit. Most devious is the heart. It is perverse. Who can fathom it? That was verses 8 and 9, and then verse 10. All right. Talking about balance here. I, Yahuwah, probe the heart, search the mind, to repay each person according to their own ways with the proper fruit of their deeds. All right. Balance. If you reap what you sow. If you are all about confusion, if you're about division, if you're about maliciousness, if you're just vindictive and mean, disrespectful, dishonorable, disloyal, you gonna get fed that right back to you. The Most High is gonna see that's who you are, and that's how that is gonna be. That's the way He's gonna deal with you, and that's a form of balance. All right. If you just a evil dude, evil is gonna be your recourse. He's gonna balance your evil with evil from Him. And if you're a good dude, He's gonna balance out your righteousness with righteousness from Him. All right. Next Bible verse, Exodus 21. Exodus 21. Starting at verse 23. Starting at verse 22. When two or more parties fight and one of them pushes a pregnant woman and a miscarriage results, but no other damage ensues, the one responsible shall be fined according as the woman's husband may exact, the payment to be based on reckoning. But if other damage ensues, the penalty shall be life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise. All right. Basically saying, if you have an altercation with somebody, all right, whatever happens in that altercation, on one side, the other side should be balanced out and receive the same thing. All right. And to continue, verse 26. When a slave owning party strikes the eye of a slave, male or female, and destroys it, that person shall let the slave go free on account of the eye. If you are so abusive that you injure someone so bad that you take their eye, they get to go free because of that. That's the balance of your abuse. All right. Now I know we're not in our land and we're not under our perfect Torah law right now. All right, but we can apply some of these same the righteousness of some of these same instructions in our everyday lives. All right, we can kind of get the sense and get the gist of how the Most High wanted balance and structure and order throughout his regiment of Israelites, throughout His heritage. All right, remember, we are His heritage. At least those of us, the remnant of us who He decides to save, we will be His heritage. All right. And the same thing in verse 27. If the owner knocks out a tooth of a slave, male or female, that person shall let the slave go free on account of the tooth. All right. Everything has a balance and an order to it. Everything has an equilibrium to it. All right. And if we don't understand these things, the Most High is going to, the Most High will deal with us according to how we treat Him, how we treat balance. All right. All right. Now let's go to Leviticus 19. And what I'm doing is I'm going through the Tanakh. All right. The Torah, the prophets, and the writings. That's the Tanakh. All right. So that basically the Old Testament. And from time to time, I do read the Apocrypha. All right. But if you go watch my video, what I believe, I don't believe you need the Apocrypha to be saved. That's me, though. All right. That's just me. I ain't trying. I don't try to pick arguments with people because I'm not a debater. There's no law that tells us to debate or how to debate. All right. So I don't debate. You know what I'm saying? And debating causes division. So I learn what I learn and I stand firm on what I learn. And that's me. And you know, if I run into people that ain't feeling it and they not able to deal with how I am on stuff, man, there is nobody holding guns to heads and shackles on wrists and none of that stuff. We can just agree to disagree and part ways or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get this thing right because I want to please the Most High at the end of the day. And I know He wants us to turn back to Him, and this is part of turning back to Him. Balance is part of turning back to Him. All right? Let's see here. Exodus 23. Or hold on. Exodus 21. My bad. Starting at verse 23. Okay, if my app will actually go to it. Waiting on this app to pull up. I don't know what's going on right now. Hold on. Exodus. There we go. Exodus 21. I had to back all the way out of there and go back in. All right, Exodus 21, and we gon'... Oh, hold on. I already did that one. My bad. My bad, y'all. Leviticus 19. Lost my train of thought that easy. All right. Leviticus 19. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. All right, and I'm looking for 2 verses of scripture. All right. Verses 35 and 36. It says, "You shall not falsify measures of length, weight, or capacity. You shall have an honest balance, honest weights, an honest ephah, and an honest hin. I, Yahuwah, am your mighty one who freed you from the land of Egypt." So the physical stuff that we deal with has to be honest too. When you measuring stuff, all right, he wants us to measure stuff the right way. Like if you're trading with somebody and we're not supposed to cut them short. All right, if we selling something, we supposed to sell the amount that we have on the, the agreement on the label or whatever. All right, so this balance pertains to physical items as well. All right, the Most High covered it all. He covered balance of your emotions, balance of your character, balance of your words, balance in the kitchen. All right, the stuff you measuring, balance. If you're a seamstress, he wants you to measure out the right size for XL, the right size for a double XL. He wants all that stuff is in order. He wants it in order. All right. Let's go to Job 31 now. All right. Job 31. We're going to start at verse 5. It says, "Have I walked with worthless men, or my feet hurried to deceit? Let him weigh me on the scale of righteousness. Let the Almighty ascertain my integrity." All right. We should all have this attitude. If we actually trying to walk in the steps of a good man, what it says in the Psalms, the steps of a good man are ordered by Yahuwah, and he delight in his way. If we all trying to have our steps aligned by the Most High, we should be asking him to check us for our integrity. All right. And then and at times openly when we have thoughts of sin, or we actually speak something that might be a sin, or we do something that might be a sin, got to be on that forgiveness tip. I ask for forgiveness every day, sins of omission and commission, because I want balance in my life. And I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this. Asking for forgiveness and repenting are 2 different things. All right? You repent. Repent just means to change your mind. So you change your mind on certain issues, certain ideas, certain topics, certain subjects. All right? Once, maybe twice if you had to double back to something and you found out it was wrong the second time. All right? You repent of that thing far less than you will ask for forgiveness of certain things. All right? But I just wanted to make that clear. Asking for forgiveness and repenting are 2 different things. All right? Let's see. Verse 6 again, it says, "Let him weigh me on the scale of righteousness. Let the mighty one, the Almighty, ascertain my integrity." All right, 7. "If my feet have strayed from their course, my heart followed after my eyes, and a stain sullied my hands, may I sow, but another reap. May the growth of my field be uprooted." And what he's saying right there is, if I have messed up if I've put in work and I messed up putting in work, then let somebody else reap the positivity of that work, because I messed up. I don't deserve to reap from that mess up, but let somebody else reap from it. All right. And then verse 9 says, if my heart was ravished by the wife of my neighbor, and I lay in wait at his door, may my wife grind for another, may others kneel over her. What do y'all think that's saying? That's talking about balance. If I commit adultery with somebody's wife, may somebody else ravage my wife. May somebody else have my wife as a pleasure. And we know that adultery is a sin worthy of death. That's a capital offense. All right. But because of that offense, and some of y'all know my story, I've committed that offense way in the past. But because of that offense, I know what grace looks like. I know what mercy looks like. I know what favor looks like. I know what kindness looks like. I know what patience and long suffering of the Almighty. I know what they look like, because he could have took me out just like that. My name could have been wiped out from this earth. My life force, my spirit, my ruach could have been wiped out from this earth. And that's why I do these videos, so I can help somebody who may have went through a similar situation or come across similar information and don't know what to do with it, or don't know how to handle it, or they're in the midst of handling it and just need to see a light at the end of the tunnel, and that might be my face from my story. You know what I'm saying? I made it. You can make it. Here's what I did. Maybe you haven't thought to apply these things. The Most High is looking for balance in our lives, an equilibrium that equals up to righteousness. Things that he can consider as integrity in your heart, in your mind, in your life. All right, let's turn to Ecclesiastes 7. We're going to start at 14. All right. It says, so in a time of good fortune, enjoy the good fortune. And in a time of misfortune, reflect. You're going to have some good times and you're going to have some bad times. Life is a balance. Now we're talking about life in general. We done talked about kitchen items. Flour can be weighed. Water can be weighed. Milk can be weighed. Butter can be weighed. Sugar can be weighed. All right. We done talked about physical altercations, the balances behind that. And now we're talking about just general life, when times are good and when times are bad. All right. The one no less than the other was the Mighty One's doing. The Almighty brings the good and the bad. He gonna balance your butt out. Everybody don't get to experience every all the good stuff in life all the time. I told my wife a few years ago, all right, we had like a 6, 8, maybe even almost a year run where we didn't have to deal with no major issues with the children, no major issues with our parents or our siblings, no major issues with like funerals and stuff like that. We was in a pocket that was just, it was shalom, it was peace. It was just steady. And one day, I can't remember if it was me. No, it wasn't me. It was either my wife or it was somebody else that was just complaining. It was going on. And I reminded my wife that day, look, we've been in a season that's been really, really balanced. It's been really good. So I sure don't want to mess that up, And I can't, it might have been, maybe it was her mom she was dealing with, or somebody was messing up her shalom. Somebody was messing up her balance. And I wanted to remind her hey, the season we just been in, it's been awesome. So let's give some credit where it's due. Let's praise the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay positive. Balance. All right. All right. It said the one no less than the other was the mighty one's doing. Consequently, man may find no fault with him. All right. In my own brief span of life, I have seen both these things. Sometimes a good man perishes in spite of his goodness, and sometimes a wicked one endures in spite of his wickedness. Balance comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. Sometimes good people don't get to experience the balance of living a long life. Sometimes wicked people get more life than they maybe deserve. But the Most High balances things in all directions, all shapes and sizes, all forms. 16. So don't overdo goodness and don't act the wise man to excess. Don't be, let me word this. How am I trying to word this? All right, so the KJV says don't be overly righteous. I want to say, don't act like you got all the answers and you got your stuff all the way together. None of us have all the answers and none of us have it all together. There are some things that I've said in past videos that I might be wrong on. This is still a learning experience for me, and this is still a walk of detoxification as I came out of Christianity. So a lot of us are still absorbing. We're students. We're going to be students until the day that we're gone. And hopefully resurrected. Unless the Most High comes while we still living. But anyway, we all can continue to learn. So don't think that you got your S together. You know what I'm saying? Or you may be dumbfounded. The Most High might challenge you with something that mess you up. If you just portray to be higher than others. That's why I don't call myself a teacher. Now I got brothers that say, "Nah, bro, nah, that's teaching." Nah, you can't deny that. Some of the information you share, man, you be teaching people. Okay, I received that. But I'm not going to sit here and call myself a teacher or a moray, you know what I'm saying? And those, some of these brothers I still learn from. I got a homie, man, that almost every conversation we have, man, he showed me something new. And I'm sure I've showed him some stuff too, but it'd be more on his side than do mine, you know what I'm saying? And he younger than me, but this brother's sharp. So, my experience though, I'm about to be 50, and I done been through some stuff, man. I done survived some stuff, and I am so thankful that the Most High was with me in all of it, even in my ignorance, man. Anyway, yeah, I am so thankful. I'm so grateful to the Almighty. But I try to balance out. I don't want to be a guy who is considered a snob because I think I know it all or just something like that. You know what I'm saying? Verse 17, don't overdo wickedness and don't be a fool, or you may die before your time. All right, just up here, in verse 15, he said, and sometimes a wicked one endures in spite of his wickedness. Well, now he's saying that you could be wicked and die young. All right, you could be foolish and die young. Die before your time. So, when the times that I have to be a jerk and the times that I'm overly nice and I probably should be a little bit more stern, those times I try to balance all that out. And it ain't always easy either. And sometimes when you're dealing with something you've dealt with for the first time, you really do mess up. All right. And when hindsight is 2020, there's nothing you can do now. You already walked those steps. You already made those decisions. So as you go through this life, focus on trying to get it right in that moment. Don't let your emotions get too high so you can make better decisions. Don't let your depression get too low so you can make good decisions. All right. Don't let your anger, don't let your fury, your rage get the best of you. And don't be walking around here talking about what would Jesus do. Don't do that. Verse 18, it is best that you grasp the one without letting go of the other, for one who fears the Almighty will do his duty by both. All right? You gonna walk the line of over righteousness and wickedness. You're gonna walk right there in the middle. All right? You don't want to be too high on something and too low on something. You don't want to be too far left or too far right. You want to navigate in a way and in a mode where you can petition the Most High and still He hear your prayers. All right. If you claim to be righteous but you did somebody wrong because you didn't realize how emotional you were in that moment, you know what I'm saying? You still thought you was right or whatever. The Most High might not hear your petition. He might not hear your prayer because you know better. All right. And well, some of you young ones, y'all might not know better, but hopefully as you continue to read, study, pray, and meditate and listen to videos and have conversations, all right, and read different literature, all right, do various forms of research, you will get better and learn how to get way off one end and come to the middle, and then get way off of this end over here with your feelings and come to the middle, and then you're able to level that thing out and just matriculate like that and stay in the center, stay balanced, stay in an equilibrium. All right, few more scriptures and then we'll be done. Proverbs 11. Proverbs 11. Verse 1. False scales are an abomination to Yahuwah, and honest weight pleases him. When you deal with people, when you handle people righteously, that pleases the Almighty. No matter who you're dealing with. When you deal with them righteously. If you don't agree with something, you ain't got to be a just all out evil enemy butthole. You can deal with people and disagree with them and have a great demeanor about it. That's what I do. When I disagree with people for the most times, there have been times that I still let my anger overwhelm me, but for the most part, when I disagree with somebody, man, I got a half smirk and I'm like, all right, you do you. You know what I'm saying? Go do you. I have a direct relationship with the Almighty. That's what we're supposed to do anyway. So we're not supposed to fear man. All right. Do I have everything in my life together? No. But I'm working to balance it all out. And I have my integrity knowing that I am really trying to balance it all out. And some people, they don't see what you got working on the in the background. That ain't my problem. What they think about me is not my problem. Now, what the Most High think about me, that's my problem. And that's why I continue, as I keep working these things out and making these adjustments in the background and stuff, I continue to ask the Most High to grant me patience, long suffering, and mercy. And if you got some stuff going on where you trying to work some stuff out, you should be doing that too. And that's a part of balance. All right. 2 more scriptures. The first one is going to be Hosea 12. Hosea 12, and we're going to start at verse 3. It says, Yahuwah once indicted Judah and punished Jacob for his conduct, requited him for his deeds. In the womb he tried to supplant his brother, talking about Jacob. Grown to manhood, he strove with the divine being, talking about Jacob. He strove with the messenger and prevailed. The other had to weep and implore him. At Bethel, Jacob would meet him, there to commune with him. Verse 6, yet Yahuwah, the mighty one of hosts, must be invoked as Yahuwah. 7, you must return to your mighty one, practice goodness and justice, and constantly trust in your Almighty. There is your balance. You must return to the Almighty. Verse 7, you must return to the Almighty. Practice goodness and justice. Practice goodness and justice. And constantly trust in the Almighty. This is a captivity statement. Even in captivity, we can practice goodness and justice. And there is your balance. And we have to constantly trust in the Most High. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. I am being forced to trust in the Most High. Or not. And I just say that or not because some people, they don't know how to let the Most High, orchestrate, and help them navigate this stuff. I have learned, and I'm still learning, but I have learned to trust the Most High. Last verse. We're going to get up out of here. Man, that wind feels good. I can see the clouds starting to move in. Man, that doggone hurricane, y'all. If y'all go look at them satellite images, that hurricane is crazy. Crazy. Let's see here. Last verse. We're going to go to Numbers. All right, last piece of balance I want to talk about. All right. Numbers. Numbers 35. I'm going to read verses 30 through 34. It says, if anyone slays a person, the killer may be executed only on the evidence of witnesses. The testimony of a single witness against a person shall not suffice for a sentence of death. All right? That's a form of balance. You can't just go, let somebody say, yes, he did that. He's worthy of death. All right? And then that person get to defend themselves. No, there needs to be a contingent or there needs to be a couple, 2 or 3 witnesses that's able to point the finger at that person. All right? And that's a form of balance. All right? You may not accept a ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of a capital crime. A murderer must be put to death. All right? So that story that's in the New Testament where they say Barabbas instead of YHWH, JC, Jesus, that's a lie. We got a law that say we ain't supposed to do that. That story's mocking our law. More New Testament lies that we just randomly learn when you just read, right? All right, verse 32. Nor may you accept ransom in lieu of flight to a city of refuge, enabling a man to return to live on his land before the death of the priest. All right, somebody who commits cold-blooded murder, premeditated, well thought out, and just evil, kill somebody for evil, all right, we wasn't supposed to let them go free. It was life for a life, all right. So that's balance, all right. But let me get to these last two verses. You shall not pollute the land in which you live, for blood pollutes the land, and the land can have no expiation for blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of the one who shed it. All right. Excuse me. We live in a land that has shed so much innocent blood, all right, that catastrophic events have to happen here, all right, and it has to happen to some of the ones who shed that blood, so the land can be cleansed of all the evil that was done here. That's called balance. America going down, y'all. Everybody want to talk about reparations and all that stuff. It ain't coming. Something bad gonna happen here. Whether it's the land or not of the Israelites, something bad gonna happen here because a lot of innocent blood got shed here. A lot of blood, and don't get me wrong, there was a lot of people that died here deserve to die. All right, and I don't look at that lightly either, man. Life is life. I like my life. You know what I'm saying? But if evil people that did evil things died, then so be it. And if balance is required in our lives, all right, then so be it. The life of somebody who loves Yahuwah, they should embrace balance. And that's just the way it is. And then verse 34, you shall not defile the land in which you live, in which I myself abide, for I, Yahuwah, abide among the Israelite people. The Most High does not abide. I don't believe he abides here in the States. We filthy over here. All right. You don't know which door you touch has been touched by somebody who touched a dead carcass, or who is on their time of the month, or a woman that might be on their time of the month, or a man who, I hate to say it, but it's very possible, because I see men walk out of public restrooms all the time without washing their hands. If that man, had a seed of copulation that morning, he unclean for the rest of the day, and he touched that door, and you touched the door handle. You unclean now. So every day that we have to work in these environments, in these jobs, these employments, we dirty, we filthy. There is no, the only expiation for sin right now, until the actual blood start happening, all right, the only way is the sacrifice of our lips. We don't have a temple to sacrifice animals. We don't have the Levitical priesthood reestablished. So the sacrifice of our lips is what has to suffice. That's a part of balance. All right. Hopefully this video helps somebody, man. I used to apologize for videos going this long. I ain't apologizing no more, because obviously the Most High wanted me to say what he wanted me to say. So when he helped me put this together, I wanted to just kind of share this information on balance, get you guys to understand that the modern mindset, the mindset we should have right now in these days. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but things is heating up over in the Middle East. Things is heating up over there in Europe. All right. There's things going on in Africa that some of y'all ain't read about, I bet. All right. And then here, the major story here is, of course, Hurricane Helen. Hurricane Helen. And they talking about a few more hurricanes is supposed to come. All right. And then me personally, I'm not a prophet. I ain't trying to make no predictions. I'm not a prognosticator, none of that stuff. But me personally, I think October finna to get crazy. I think we finna to see a couple of big news stories in October. Don't know what that is, but I think something coming. And Of course, we got the election supposed to happen in November. Man, if y'all ain't been paying attention, all right, our modern mindset, we need to be praying, all right? We need to be studying and researching, all right? We need to be trying to find some common ground with everybody, with each other, all right? In my humble opinion, and we need to find balance, all right? Sometimes you got to make priorities, and everybody that would like to be a part of my life, I can't allow them to be, because I can't spread myself that thin. I got to balance that stuff out. It is what it is. Hey, thank you guys for stopping by the channel. If you stayed and watched this long, may the Most High enlarge your territory. May He protect you in the coming world catastrophes. All right. May He hide you in critical situations. May He heal you so you can operate and have your right mind to operate when things do go down. All right. And may He grant you wisdom, and may He grant you life to come in the world to come. All right. I'm thankful for you guys stopping by. If I just help one person, I did what I was supposed to do. And I really believe that. So thank you guys. All praises be to the Almighty alone. All right. I call Him Yahuwah. So you guys know I end my videos. All right. I ain't got all the answers, but I'll share what I learned. You guys stay safe out there. Stay vigilant and pay attention. All right. Make sure you pray. All right. That's it. Shalom.